Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Oftentimes, the best idea or the best way to test a business idea is not actually to build it, especially when it comes on to sort of technical things. Oftentimes, there's an easier way to test your business idea, and that involves basically just creating a landing page to tell people about it and measuring things like traffic, conversions, and other kind of metrics. So let me show you an example of how you can kind of test this out. And we'll talk about how I'm actually going to be, or how I am building basically a Next.js system that will allow you to test these kind of business ideas. So the best way to get feedback on your idea is just to share it. And right now what I'm building is kind of a directory website, okay? So I have a few different ideas for directories. I'll talk about this in a minute again. But it's about ceramic coatings. And let's say I want to see how interested people are in ceramic coatings or learning about ceramic coatings, or even just a website that's dedicated to ceramic coatings. What I can do is there's this long Reddit post about this one ceramic coating product, and there's a ton of comments, ton of upvotes, and then I saw someone down here he was basically saying that he's just confused and he basically wants like a single source of truth. Okay, that's not going to help. But regardless, this is a good conversation. This kind of shows that there's a lot of kind of uncentralized discourse and differing opinions on a certain product. And what I can do is when I've actually built... Oh, dude, this is stupid. It's archived. But what I would do is I would find a similar post to this and I would create a comment that would basically say, hey, I actually wrote an article on this. And I would send people to that website. Now, I have a nice domain for this website, which is ceramicscout.com, and it'll essentially, people will see that link in the post, and they'll say, oh, this is interesting to me, or they won't. And so the thing that you want to find out is, do people actually like kind of the domain, the pitch of the idea, the topic? Is this something that people find valuable? Even if the website sucks, the website can be super basic, but it's all about how you convey it, talking about the website before people land on it. So what they can do is you put that link in there and you can test like 10 or 20 of these ideas, and eventually you'll find one that people really jive with. So let me give you an example for directory websites. Now, what I have here is I have a database in my Notion. You can use Notion or Supabase or whatever kind of CMS you like. I just already use Notion, so it's easy. And they have a good SDK. But what you do is you put together a bunch of different versions of your website. So instead of like directories, maybe you could just do landing pages and then say, hey, this is a SaaS that's, a no-code AI agent builder. And then see how many people like the idea of that and maybe sign up for your newsletter. So one thing I'm doing in this template is I have a get a quote button where they can this would kind of be how the revenue would come in, would be people submitting a form, and then we sell those leads or do something like that. And then another way is a email newsletter. And these are both kind of metrics that will allow me to track how interested people are. So those contacts will come into our submissions table, and then we have a list of, then we have metrics for that. So like how many submissions, what percent were just email, what percent were an actual contact. And yeah, from there, really all you have to do is plug in unique data. So I have all 5 of my websites and domains here. And so when this is a multi-tenant website, so that's kind of the magic here is if just for testing right now, I have these as different ones. So this is ceramicscout.com, but just for testing, I might change this to be localhost 3000, okay? And so what I can do now is if I refresh this, then we'll be on a completely different website. And so these are, oh shit, I need to change the filtering for these posts. But these would be the posts pertaining to this website, and then these would be the listings and all the articles. And as you can see, the color change and image and copy and stuff have changed. So you can set up a single website. It might take slightly more time than setting up, 2 or 3 kind of low-code websites, but it's going to look better, function better, and you have the ability, because now whenever I want to build out a new site, like I have some other ideas for directories I want to test, and I can literally just add new rows to the database. It might take me an hour, and I can, boom, instantly spin up another website to test these ideas. And a lot of these times with these like businesses that are pretty kind of slow to get going, where you're not going to be like making revenue and making sales from day one. It might be, you know, something that requires a lot of setup, like a product that needs a lot of setup to get built or something like that. Or in the case of a directory, it's very slow. It takes a while to start bringing in revenue. With these kind of ideas, it's better to test a bunch of ideas, especially if you have a lot of ideas. If you're like, oh, this would be cool, this would be cool, this would be cool, you can set up a template landing page and just send people to that landing page. And yeah, I mean, you can just buy like 5 domains for $10 each, and all of a sudden you can test 5 different business ideas instead of going balls to the wall on one business idea that people aren't even interested in, right? So, yeah, this is a pretty cool approach, I think. Let me know if you're doing something like that. I'm thinking about like eventually turning this into a product, because realistically, like, I think other people are interested in this directory business model idea, and I could just, like, right now you have to use like some sort of proprietary listing generator or like super.so or like Notion to actually build out the pages, which doesn't look as nice and doesn't allow you as much flexibility when it comes to like collecting leads and kind of doing the styling and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it would be pretty cool to just kind of like spin these up really fast just by adding like content, and then have it kind of go from there, you know? So yeah, that's the video.